Norma, aka the banker from Deal or No Deal, has got someone in the can. We're going to be meeting her later on this episode. She is a waitress from Chili's. I mean, I know that she's worked at Wimbledon, but she
managed Wimbledon.
She is the kind of person that the people at Family Feud ask their opinion for the answers.
Yep.
And that's why the answers don't make any sense, because Lily is the one that says rock, and you're like, how does that can't be four, right?
First thing that you would take out of your wallet, number one answer, rock.
Thank
rock.
you, Lily.
Rock, number one answer. Number one answer. Okay. I love how Steve Harvey busts balls, he looks at the camera.
All right.
Okay. Preference sheet.
And death to the patriarchy, right? Because Steve Harvey and Ellen DeGeneres did the same exact thing.
And they are both male.
Okay. So we have to get to the preference sheet meeting. Welcome aboard another brand spanking new episode of another Below Deck podcast. My name is Dylan. I am saddled up next to one Patrick Hickey.
Permission to come aboard, sir.
Granted, we are still in the wake, nautical, of Thanksgiving, and that means that Papaya Dog Girl is still with us. Hello, Ruby.
Hello, Dill. How are you?
What is that coat? Is that fleece?
No, it's not.
I don't know fabrics. I have a tough time with fabrics. What is it?
It's just not fleece. I don't know.
Guys, we have an episode of Below Deck to get into, but before we get into it, we have to talk about public service announcements. Pat, Vanderpump is around the corner.
That's right, January, and Papaya Girl herself,
Yeah.
Ruby Wren, will be recapping that. Have we decided whether or not that's behind a paywall?
That will be behind a paywall.
Okay.
Yeah. Right?
I don't know. We got to see what's coming up in January.
We'll think about it, but you'll probably pay. And then other stuff, great reviews.
Okay, so this was interesting. I don't know which show it was that we saw tonight, but they showed a clip of Malia. Oh, it must have been an episode of Winter House. Sorry. Well, that kind of has to do with this episode of Below Deck. Anyway, Malia was going to make out with a girl at a party at an episode of Winter House, and they harkened back to a previous episode, which was an episode that we just recapped on Patreon.com/another podcast network for season 2 of Below Deck Med. It's an amazing recap. We're having such a good time.
Such a good time.
And we are going to start. I think we've done the first 2 episodes. We'll drop the third one this week or whatever.
Yeah.
But Bugs is going to come on.
I'm so excited to talk to Bugs. Also, behind the paywall, we just recapped Pat being assaulted by somebody in his neighborhood.
3
people in his neighborhood. They are
unhoused.
They're unhoused, and so the episode is We Talk Politics. We usually don't talk politics. So if you want to hear us talk politics and talk about how Pat survived a zombie attack, go to patreon.com/another podcast network. Quickly reviews. This is a great one from Jilly Elizabeth. So funny. If you like Below Deck, you'll love this podcast. That's great. 102 Pots from Rob Lanier. 5 stars. Tomb Raider made out with Luca. That's a great review.
That's a great one.
That's
also
a great
informative.
One. Very informative. So episode whatever. It's a big one. We're in the kind of fallout after Natalia's departure and Sandy's common denominator dressing down of Kyle. Who wants to go first with thoughts and pods? Should Rubes go first?
Yeah,
she
go
hasn't
first.
spoken.
Yeah.
I thought that this episode was a bit of a snoozy, but I do think that it was because they knew that the Natalia, the devil incarnate, and if that's really, really bad, I take it back. I don't know what that actually means when she comes back next week. I think they're gearing us all up for that, trying to get us ready to go.
Devil incarnate would be like the devil, right? So get me here. So the devil, yeah, I don't know what it means.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us know if you do.
Because we'd all like to learn.
Yes, Patrick.
I think it means that, like in Freaky Friday?
I have my phone. I can look it up.
No, we got it. So you know how Freaky Friday, Jamie Curtis is Lindsay Lohan? Mm-hmm. What if Jamie Curtis was, or the devil was Jamie Curtis? she would be the devil incarnate. And it really would be Freaky Friday. It would be like Scary Friday.
Yeah.
It's like a A24 Blumhouse.
Sure. Yeah.
Coming out December 25th.
Yeah. Different aspect ratio and whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think Ruby was getting her
Oh,
thoughts
yeah.
on
So
it.
if that is it, if that's what the definition is, I don't take it back because I think that Natalia coming back next week is just going to be a weird disaster. And this week was snoozy except for the guests. I thought the guests were great. I thought this was exactly how I would spend my time on this boat. And I loved to see it. 39 pots.
39 pots.
Can I go?
Please, still.
I don't remember. This is what I remember. There was a lot of kind of elementary school reward systems this evening from Captain Sandy. The kind of positive reinforcement you would use to manipulate a 7-year-old, Sandy used for sea rats. Now we've
You want a Milky Way?
Yeah.
Come on.
Where we going?
Also, unpopular opinion, but and we'll talk about it early on in the episode, but I'm here with silent film actor. He's too nuts. I don't care. You're talking about how you're not hard, and that's why you have to.
His Eiffel Tower's not
I
hard.
can't deal.
Dylan, it's French.
With
Okay.
crazy people, right?
Yeah.
You need a little bit of a North Star. Even if there's a cloud, you can kind of see through it. Can't see it with Max. Weird analogy. Great episode. 4 pots.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to utilize my thoughts in Knott's time to go after the Bravo promo editing team over there, the geniuses over there. Okay. So the idea of a tease, where you leave the tail end of the episode of, what's going to happen next week, right? Will Sandy fire Kyle or will she not and allow him to stay? Well, Bravo was running a promo all morning where it showed Kyle and his whites greeting the new guests to the charter. So whoever you are, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
okay.
Josh.
Wow, Josh.
Josh.
Fucking absurd.
I had the same thoughts as Rubes, which is this was kind of a stinker of an episode. When you spend 3 minutes with the crew going out for ice cream, know you're fucked. Lastly, I like Captain Sandy in this episode. I do appreciate the positive reinforcement. That's exactly what she was doing to our Frenchman with having him on the bridge there
You want to
driving
drive the boat? You want to drive the boat, little guy? Huh?
I saw what you were doing there, Sandy, and I kind of like it.
Worked like a charm.
What can we do to get your dick hard, little guy? Huh?
I want to drive boat.
You want to drive the boat?
I want ice cream and then I want to drive boat.
All right.
You can have it. Just don't quit on me. Well, anyway, I did not enjoy the episode. This was episode 10, by the way. We have 6 more, as I saw in the trailer for the rest of the season.
Right.
Some fun stuffs. If you don't watch the trailer for the coming episodes, Jessica / Ann starts to get really fun.
Were you using a lot of weed be gone today or something? Do you have chemicals?
I think something's coming on.
Oh.
I think something's coming on. Mm-hmm.
You mean you're sick?
Well, no, I mean, I got it like a scratchy throat,
Oh, shit. Ruby has MS. She's autoimmunely compromised.
I'm part of the neurodivergent community, Patrick.
Well, I apologize.
For putting me at risk? Yeah.
I'm an
Apology
ally.
not accepted. No,
Why don't you take the round out of the chamber, Pat? Because
you're holding it against my skull.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an ally.
Yeah, that's right, because you will never.
You will never.
Oh, boy. All right. So, Kyle, last thought here.
Yeah, we
Kyle,
have to get into the show, guys.
Kyle.
Patrick, we have to get into the show.
Patrick,
Okay, all right. I'll
you
say
have MS?
0 knots.
We last left off with the dressing down of one Kyle. Sandy is using fractions to slam him, which, she was a 2nd grade teacher. This episode, she was like, we studied common denominators. You are the common denominator. It's like he's struggling with stuff, and after school she's telling him that he's the reason everybody hates each other. You know.
Yet, just when you think that guillotine is coming down on his neck,
Yeah.
she gives him a stay of execution. He's allowed to stay.
Yeah, and of course he heads down and he goes, I call him. I'm resigning. It's so funny how quickly it was like a road runner kind of stomping on the brakes. He burps and says, my pink ass is going to be around for a little bit longer. I'm going to fight everybody. You know. Next up, Chef Jack.
All right, exactly. All right. So can I point out here that I know I mentioned this in the last couple episodes, but it's worth repeating. He is, in fact, the common denominator, but everyone has blood on their hands. So Natalia was immature.
Not Haley.
Not Haley. No, actually, this is just the interior, actually. So Anne/Jessica, blood on her hand. She's a little gossiper.
Yeah.
Toomey, gossiper.
Yeah.
Natalia, Kyle, shit stirrer.
Right.
So they all have blood on their hands. But I do believe if Kyle was pulled out of the equation, the interior would have the best possible chance of maintaining basically.
Yeah, I said it last week. I mean, Funhouse Mirror 2 Rams. I think that Natalia's going through something. I think Kyle is he's more acrid to the core, but Natalia, I mean, 2 Rams, Funhouse Mirror.
All right, well, let me make an analogy. Okay, so Kyle
I just did.
is a naturally born shit stir. It's embedded in him as part of his character and persona.
Yeah.
Telling him, which Sandy did, which I think he wanted to quit, was because he knows that he can't help himself because it's so much part of his character to be a fucking gossipy shit stir. It would be like asking a lion to not eat zebras anymore.
Or it would be like asking a lion to play bridge.
Right. The lion's like, well, what am I going to do all day?
I don't understand the rules. I don't understand the concept of numbers or a card.
I knock the cards off the fucking table every time. My paws are too big.
Yeah.
It would be
And
rude.
also, zebras and eating them is my favorite pastime.
Right.
You've taken out my reason for being away. You can't take.
Love hunting zebras.
So I think Kyle knew, because right out of the gate, he can't stop himself from shit talking. There's like 5 or 6 instances throughout the episode where he really rubs up against being a shit talker and possibly getting himself terminated.
The Instagram posts that our fans have been posting in our Facebook group, go there, great community, supportive. And if people aren't supportive, I mean, we kick them out. His Instagram posts are some of the most hilarious things I've seen in some time. Almost as funny as that Indigenous woman with PTSD getting pulled over for driving into oncoming traffic. We'll break that down on APS maybe.
You should. You absolutely should.
He earnestly says, heartbroken, in a Richard III kind of way, I've never been called the common denominator before. You know?
You've been called a fucking prick.
The melodrama and the self-importance and the vile centricity of it all is nauseating. But
do you think he's been called a numerator?
so
Toomey convinces him to stay, which is shocking. She is not consistent at all, and he does agree to stay.
Silent film actor and insane person Maximilian is still convinced about the vibes being off. We'll get to more on that later. Meanwhile, Kyle walks down into the kitchen and throws a nasty look Samwise's way. Now, I don't know if this was editing or if Kyle knows that Samwise tried to backstab him. Samwise doesn't backstab. All he does is try to warn people that Gollum is not someone to be trusted.
Right.
And it's a little short-sighted because Gollum can be Smeagol, but when you treat him that poorly, he's going to revert to Gollum. You know what I mean? So you don't want people to be hand shy. What? So I didn't know if this was real or not, but
hey, look, the Sea Rats come in here all the time, Dylan. They tell us what you see is as was presented. Presented as how it played out.
Yeah, but you know how there's that painting that's like, this is not a pipe?
I believe so.
That could be this is not a pipe situation.
Picasso.
No.
Yep.
So also, Norma, aka the banker from Deal or No Deal, has got someone in the can. We're going to be meeting her later on this episode. She is a waitress from Chili's. I mean, I know that she's worked at Wimbledon, but
she managed Wimbledon.
She is the kind of person that the people at Family Feud ask their opinion for the answers.
Yep.
And that's why the answers don't make any sense, because Lily is the one that says rock, and you're like, how does that can't be 4, right?
First thing that you would take out of your wallet, number one answer, rock.
Thank
rock.
you, Lily.
Rock, number one answer. Number one answer. Okay. I love how Steve Harvey busts balls, he looks at the camera.
All right.
Okay. Preference sheet.
And death to the patriarchy, right? Because Steve Harvey and Ellen DeGeneres did the same exact thing.
And they are both male.
Okay. So we have to get to the preference sheet meeting.
I got some quick hits here, Dale.
Yeah, can you take this over?
Okay, it's going to be a short charter with Tanya, the owner of Power Magazine. The short charter, though, troubles Luca because he realizes when C-Rats fuck up, as they're apt to do, you got 24-hour turnover, man. You're not going to be able to make any ground up on that.
Can you say that again? I throat farted, got distracted.
Like an edit thing?
No, not an edit thing. If you could just say it one more time for me.
Yeah, Luke is concerned because C-Rats, they fuck up all the time, right?
Yeah,
but this
yeah,
being a 24-hour charter, they're not going to be able to make up any ground to save that tip.
Oh, yeah, that's a stupid concern.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
maybe just silly. It's a silly concern.
The guests are going to want lots of salads, and then we're going to get that white party for the 100th time.
Sure, yeah.
And then we have an insane guest that doesn't want to eat eggs outside.
Yep.
And her other request, no ham sandwiches where giraffes live.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a Dorit kind of 4 limes kind of thing.
Carcass out. Okay. Well.
Yeah, that's just a desperate attempt to set yourself out from the crowd.
And make your bartender shit in your drinks. Okay?
Yeah. Carcass out. So Sandy is excited. Let me clear my throat real quick. Because I'm sorry. Sandy is excited about the maneuvering they're going to be doing. And she is like a proud terrier at the dog show. I mean, she is going to be just trouncing around in front of everybody. I don't know. I would like to speak to the people in that dock about, like, are yachts this big supposed to come in here?
Right.
Because I think everyone was like, this is super fucking insane and annoying that this woman is doing this.
Yeah. All the boats that they were like, and then you've just got boats driving by and they're going everywhere. I think those boats were like, what the fuck are you guys doing? So.
Yeah, it's like a Ford F-150 trying to go into a compact spot. It's like, I guess you can do it, but you're evil.
You really can't, though.
So the C-Rats sleep, and that's it. And I was thinking, can we get a little tea? I mean, this is a perfect opportunity for C-Rats to claw at one another. I mean, we've just had somebody depart the boat. Kyle's been called a numerator, and there's just no drama at all.
Well, that's because Kyle's been kind of neutralized. He's walking on eggshells around this boat.
He got shot with a trank.
Right.
Now, Sandy told Kyle he couldn't talk shit, but no one told Chef Jack he could.
Yeah.
I think he tells Toomey that he thinks Kyle is the kind of C-Rat that brings drama. That could bring it to into a closet and have drama with a mop.
He said that he could start drama in a room by himself with a mop and a bucket.
Nice one. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. And also, if you think about it, a horrifying picture.
Yeah.
I mean, that is A24 kind of like, I don't ever need to see that movie again.
Right.
It's just Kyle in a white room with a mop. In my head, the mop is purple, and it stands up on its own in the bucket, and it's just Kyle screaming at it, going, "You will never.
You will never."
That's it.
And it's 37 minutes,
Yep.
and it's nominated for Best Short.
And it wins.
And it wins.
Hey, speaking of scary visuals, weirdo Haley, she wakes up, she tells Luca she had a fucking dream. Did you catch that one?
Yeah.
This little weirdo. In that dream, she was on a date with an anteater, and suddenly she believed the anteater was the anteater that killed her grandmother during a carjacking incident gone wrong, So she just started punching it,
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know people that old carjacked,
Oh no, they do. Yeah. No, the elderly get off scot-free with so many things. People think that they're like physically incompetent, but they use that to their advantage.
The 3 unhoused that attacked Pat,
Yeah.
all over 84.
Yeah, they were.
All 84.
That's
and
why the
change.
cops didn't do anything when they showed up. They said, "Hey, they're over there." They're like, "No."
Yeah. They steal.
They eat grapes out of the bags.
Yeah. You go to a Gelson's and you just see people gumming on mangoes, and you're like, oh, I can't do anything because they're old. I hate them.
Yeah, me too.
So next day,
Next day.
silent film actor has a conversation with Sandy. He says, I might leave.
No.
This is not an actionable thing. He's like,
He's also uses the word "I might."
yeah, he's like, I'm gonna spin this dreidel, and then we'll just see what character. How does it work? You're more Jewish than me.
Yeah, I think this is the one. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. Bad Jew. You get gelt. Is the dreidel the one that whatever it lands on, you get to collect with gelt, the little monies,
Yeah.
the chocolate monies.
Jews love money.
You
You know.
That was snorting because we're pigs, all those Jews.
Yeah.
But he really is like a little baby. He's like, I want to spin my dreidel, and then I'm going to see what kind of ice cream and boats I could drive.
Yeah.
And it works.
Again, he's too nuts. He's like, my dick is not hard, so I know that I need to leave. You need to go to a doctor. It has nothing to do with your work.
It's a little thing called Viagra.
Yeah.
And a reduction of unhealthy relationship with alcohol. But I will say this about our silent star.
Big
You
time.
can't do that.
This is a one-time showing. We've had a lot of sea rats that just pass by us for one season. We never see him again. We will never see this man again.
No.
We've seen this
No.
dog and pony show.
Oh my God, that's such a good take.
Right?
Yeah.
He can't come back.
No.
No.
And not in the same way as the giant who impregnated the woman and then lied about getting her pregnant.
JP.
Yeah, sorry, JP, little baby JP. Different.
The one with the Book of Revelations tattooed on his back.
Yeah, that one. Not like him. It's a different kind of passing, you know?
Yeah. No, Maximilian will be leading some kind of Vedanta retreat about chakras and erections. So Sandy calls Toomey up, and believe it or not, we, like I mentioned, have a Chili's employee coming onto the boat. What are you looking for, baby?
Oh, I was going to play a hacky sound effect,
Oh, great.
but it's not ready yet.
Okay, so yeah, we'll see how long it takes before Kyle makes her cry, and we'll see how long it takes before Lara and or Luca try to have sex with her.
Oh, wow.
Not long.
Not
For
long.
either, I don't
I think it'll be Maximilian, and I think one of the reasons why we've gotten this Eiffel Tower Chiron is because he's going to go to midnight when he hooks up with Lily. I see you, Bravo. I see you. So, I just want to talk about the clock thing for a moment.
Oh, the Eiffel Tower clock.
Yeah, the Eiffel Tower clock.
Very annoying.
It's really like, I feel like it's a bit understated how insane it is that we're doing this thing where this man needs to be erect before he can be a good employee again, in which case he's like throwing lines and high-fiving with a massive, and that's how we know that he should stick around, that he's at full mass, you know, or full mass. Is it mast or mass? Half mast when somebody dies, right? Or is it half mast? We can move on.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy.
I'm belaboring the point.
That's okay. Did we do the little dive into the sea rat history of Lily yet?
No.
Okay. Well, this is my territory.
Yeah.
Right here. Okay. So this is our green stew. Is I guess she worked or lives in London, managed Wimbledon, which is quite impressive. But I think she's trumping up that job.
Yeah, trumping up, lying.
Is Wimbledon the name of a sports bar like Chili's?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah, she managed
Yeah.
Wimbledon.
There's a pub.
Great
out-
chicken fajitas there.
Yeah.
Best in the UK?
And then she's worked on small boats. So that's it's a solid goose egg in the sea rat.
Sea rat sad. Yeah. Yeah, sea rat sad's not very high.
Solid zero.
Yeah.
No, it's not good. It's not sad.
Not at all.
No.
No.
And that's the problem.
That's the big problem.
So-
Yeah.
You can't come on this vessel and hand us that horse shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
I want to
no.
hear about someone got gunned down that was your friend.
Yeah, it's like if we were measuring something that wasn't an earthquake on the Richter scale, it wouldn't be on the it would get a 0.
Right.
You know.
And in Patrick's scenario, the one that gunned down your friend was your mom.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Exactly.
Right. So Kyle's having a tough time folding toilet paper. He's having Vietnam flashbacks of being called a common denominator.
Hey.
Kyle is exactly the kind of person that would say that he had PTSD
Yeah.
from that kind of conversation,
Yes, he would.
which, we were talking about it before we left. That is a condition that is reserved for people who experience trauma, not uncomfortable HR meetings.
I want to clarify what trauma is. So someone like our father who watched people be blown up in front
Yeah,
of him at the
right.
age of 17.
Yeah.
That's trauma.
Right.
Right.
Sandy saying you are not going to be a chief stew
Yeah.
and I have eyes and I have ears and I shouldn't say isn't trauma. I should say it's a different kind of trauma.
It's
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. So we're the dead bodies that our father had to see. They gave him.
Yep.
the-
Go.
Yeah, so
That's real
Many of
trauma.
them were children. So Jack and Laura talk about how Natalia didn't turn the crew against each other. Jack and Laura, you need to keep your respective genitalia in your pants. I know that you weren't privy to what we saw, but I feel like you're being distracted a little bit. Natalia absolutely did that. Keep shucking oysters and let Kyle hang himself, please.
he will.
Not literally. I don't mean that
No,
literally.
no, of course not.
God forbid.
I'm serious. Don't do that.
I'm not even being sarcastic
No,
about it. God
no.
forbid.
I think he's fine.
I hope that he is fine. Seriously.
I don't want anybody to die.
No.
I want a lot of people to die, but not
Yeah, no, I
Kyle.
should amend that.
Yeah,
I
that's
want
not true. Don't do that. Just not Kyle to
Okay.
die. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. He's a young idiot. He'll grow. He'll be better. We were all idiots.
people that work at McKinsey, I think.
Yeah, but there's like,
NYU Stern graduates that want to work at McKinsey.
but they don't know.
You know, actually, I'm
Probably
going to
just
take back my point.
cut them off
I always
early.
talk about people growing, like, hey, you're an idiot when you were 23.
Yeah.
I have the honor of actually having lived a number of years after being 23.
Yeah.
Right.
People I went to high school with went to that reunion.
Yep.
They're all the same person. They're still assholes.
Yeah.
People don't change at all.
What do you think the cutoff is? If you're a dick by the time you're 20, what?
Oh, 6, I think.
You won't change.
No.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay.
It's, yeah.
You mean 26 or 6 years old?
Oh, 6 years old.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah, no, 6 years old. I mean, look at our beautiful niece, Jane. I mean, Jane's been evil since she was 4 years old, and she will always be evil, and that's why I love her. She's so mean. Mm-hmm. You know?
No. I fear her deeply.
You want to know something funny? I got kicked off my school bus when I was 10. And the school bus driver called my mom and said, Pat is not allowed on the school bus for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Why? Because he said, you got something to say about everybody. Because I'd have something to say. I'd go, hey, you chose that outfit today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that bag. Kids, people in nowadays would say it was bullying,
Right.
Yeah.
But look what I'm doing right now.
Look at you, Pat.
I haven't changed at all.
No,
Yeah.
no. Patrick is Mary M. Cosby from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. He'll
Yeah.
just scream at people and be like, hey, inbred, why'd you wear
You
that
don't
necklace?
really think I'm inbred, do you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay. Mary.
I know she's a criminal, but let's make her not a friend of the show and a full-blown housewife. And I know
Please.
that she doesn't go to anything, which will be problematic, but
Last thing I will say on that, I heard the greatest fucking thing today from Casey Wilson. She said, Mary Cosby is like when you're doing improv and you have to yes and she just says no.
dude,
So funny.
I've done improv sessions with Pat. He is without a doubt the worst improviser I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've done improv with like 60-year-old, like, what are you doing here? Right.
Right.
Pat, we were doing a improv exercise and Pat was supposed to do something and he just went, no, I don't want to. No, I'm not going to do that. And the coach was like, well, okay, let's try.
Oh, when we did that improv class? Yeah. Nah, I'm not doing that.
All right. So
That's
Kyle heads
Mary M.
up
Cosby.
to Sandy to give her something that she needed to hear.
That's right.
He says, I'm sorry. and he says that he talked to Natalia, and this was a little bit
Manipulative, because
yeah.
he did talk to Natalia, but
It was before the common denominator.
yeah.
Yeah, he was still a numerator then, and
Yeah.
it didn't go well. Also,
No, she's like,
Right.
please leave my room, and I'm
Yeah.
blocking you on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah,
he was
yeah.
like,
And
"I'm
that-
just going to
and-
stand over you here, even though you've asked me to leave your room. I didn't mean it."
Yeah. And when she said, I'm going to block you on Instagram, he said that's what made his heart sore. And Sandy, who is just so leadership conference here, she's like, I needed to hear that. Why did you need to hear that? What did this changes absolutely nothing. He lied to your face. All right. So the guests arrive. They seem like they're going to be fun. The Aperol spritzes, I have to say, are in an unsightly glass. Nothing should be served in goblets outside of soda that you're serving to people who need to be punished. People that go to Disneyland, people that go to
Medieval times.
Yeah. Medieval times,
yeah.
But goblets are an unfit vessel for really any liquid. You don't
Love is blind.
right, exactly. Again, you're trying to. It's a punitive thing. So it's sad that they are welcomed with too much Aperol spritz. We meet Lily. A long time ago, we met Lily, I think.
We did, but what we're learning, we meet Lily in the working capacity where she actually lied on her resume and came from working from a version of Chili's, which is called Wimbledon's.
Right, right. And we also learned that she's got a really cool C-Red history here.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, it's super cool. In that, I think that, I mean, Lily, we love you. We don't know you, but it sounds like you might be a pathological liar.
Yeah.
Wimbledon's is a bar outside of Wimbledon, and you went to university but didn't really go to university and still got good grades. That's relative, but I'm pretty sure if you gave those grades to, let's say, a Korean mother, she would say you didn't get good grades.
Kill yourself.
And also, you are some kind of sushi. It was just, I mean, she's just a perfect addition to the show, and she's going to get fired in 2 weeks.
I think she is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because she's a liability and she can't be alone.
Right.
So there's no way to keep her.
So Kyle and Jack have an awkward salad dressing conversation. Jack is quiet and deafeningly so. Kyle says that this speaks volumes. We do Australian for him, and
What is
he's
he?
not Australian. He's South African.
Oh, right.
You know, I hate to break the fourth wall, but I've often thought this as I've watched Kyle. He had quite a interesting run on his first, on his debut on
Yeah.
Med. And then he got to do all the watch what happens and all that stuff. I'm wondering if he's bringing some of that ego on board.
Did we talk to Kyle?
We didn't. We were going to, and
I feel like we
in
DM'd
typical
with him or something.
Oh, we had it scheduled, and
Yeah.
he canceled like a couple hours before, saying he was
that's
busy.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, Kyle, I wish that we could kind of try to decipher your silence. That would be amazing if we could just try to figure out what you were saying by not saying anything. But the issue is that you say everything, and I mean everything.
That's right.
So, lunch is served. Eggs are outside, or eggs are not outside. Can we get this at this point? I'm wondering, can we get this clarified? I need to know why no eggs outside.
But we got our answer.
We do.
But this lunch wasn't the egg lunch. Do you have anything to say about this? Because I couldn't make out what it was. I was actually I'm buddies with Chef Jack now. I was gonna actually ask him, like, what did you actually serve for this lunch?
I don't do lunches.
Oh.
I don't do lunches.
You don't recap lunch.
Sometimes I recap lunches, but Bravo, I feel like in particular this season has really thrown these plates overboard. I mean, they're just not giving Chef Jack enough stage time. It's exit stage left the whole season. It's not center stage. Toomey misses Natalia because Sushi doesn't know how to do anything, and then we get to lollipop time. So Max was a good boy, and he got his shot without crying, and because of that, he gets to drive the boat. And the clock comes back towards midnight.
Yeah.
He's getting hard again. I I just can't think of a more bizarre concept. I mean, it's just.
Well, I wish they'd do less of this and maybe cut your promos better, you idiots.
It would be like if Laurel was competing against Ninja, what's her name?
Ninja. Natalie
On the
Ninja.
challenge, and then they TBC it, and then you just see Laurel drinking Gatorade the next morning with CT. I mean, it just wouldn't work.
No, it wouldn't work.
Shame
and I
on
want
you,
to say,
TJ. Shame on you.
First of all, never shame on TJ. It's
No, of
always
course
Josh.
not.
And to anyone watching this current season, Horacio is the sweetest, best person I've ever known, except for Jay.
The women are 50 plus, and they want nothing to do with any of the activities that can kill you, and I love them for it.
Okay,
Love them.
so I loved Captain Sandy this episode, except for this misstep.
Of course, yeah.
This was a misstep. Now, she lets Luca have it because he's not encouraging the charter guests to fully embrace the yachting experience
He's
by
not-
going down a 40-foot slide.
He's not sham wowing infomercial the toys that they have.
Right.
She's like, you gotta sell them.
No, you don't.
He's
need
not
to.
a salesman. He's a bosun.
Exactly. And here's the point. Sandy thinks this was a went in the win column for her to prove a point.
Yeah.
I would argue you grafted this on them, and because you've been on TV for 10 years, they did something they didn't want to do to
Yep.
appease you.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
This is the person coming into your dressing room being like, oh, also we have this one that's 4 times as expensive and not what you were looking for at all, but I think it'll look amazing on you. And
Yeah.
you have to try it on, and you have to leave the dressing room, let them look at you, and then make up a lie as to why you can't buy it.
I
you know?
farted.
And now that's it. And I have to go.
It burned. I farted, and then you leave. So,
When the
Captain
fuck did we get ice cream?
Captain Timeshare is very, very much back, and these women do not want to go down this slide, and these women do not want to go on these jet skis, and I don't understand the problem.
It's a dream.
They're on vacation. Let them do what they want. So Lily and Max are flirting, and I don't think that's going to work because his cock is not visibly erect, and he's talking about a legal barbecue because he's an insane person. Also, they're sea rats. She's admitting that she's never in one place longer than a few months, so this is not going to work out. But they might slam into one another.
Yeah.
Now, have we parked the damn boat yet, or is that what comes next?
I think that's what comes next.
Yeah. Guests are very impressed. You know, I often am very thankful for the boat parking because I get to put my thumb down off touching my phone to write what happens on the show.
Yeah.
Right.
I go boat parks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because every time that's what happens.
Yeah, the violins start to hum, and you go, oh, once again, we would have seen the boat crash with the Christopher Nolan stings in the trailer for the season, if it ever happened. But no, they do a great job. They dock perfectly, and no one dies. And because of that, who's a good boy?
Oh, Maxy Posies.
Who's a good girl? Let's go
ice
get
cream.
ice
Ice
cream.
cream.
I'm getting ice cream.
So Chef Jack, before we get to ice cream, or maybe after, I'm not sure. Tough look in the menu planning.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, any chance I can get the word white in something, I take it.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what he meant by that. I
What's
thought,
the-
was that a chef thing?
It's the white party night.
Oh. Oh, there you go.
You know, too many immigrants.
There you go. Oh,
that
you're
kind
going
of
that
thing.
direction.
Well, I mean, I don't know where else to go with it.
This actually wasn't the white party night. It was a different night completely. And he just wanted to use the word white as many times as he could.
Ice cream works great. And silent actor decides that he is going to stay.
He's got a renewed love for sale.
I am
Or
going
yachting,
to stay
whatever.
here. What flavor do we think Sandy gets of ice cream?
Sandy strikes me as a sherbet lady in a couple of years. Right now, I think that she's, I don't know, something lesbian.
Oh, okay.
What's a lesbian flavor of ice cream?
What's that ribbon one?
A gold medal ribbon?
Yeah, gold medal ribbon.
Yeah.
I don't think they have that in Italy.
Maybe.
Hi, do you guys have a Whopper?
I did that in Thailand.
Yeah, of course. So Sandy's underwear is lost, and Sushi is the one that lost them. I think they did Sandy a little dirty showing the underwear. Listen, underwear, whatever you want to wear to make you feel comfortable. Pat wears boxers. I think that's insane. Everybody's underwear is a personal preference, but I mean, they just hold them up like, I mean, look at these fucking things.
It's not ideal.
I mean,
Yeah, they did
these
it
are like
dirty.
a Costco 50 pack of underwear.
Yep.
So,
Meanwhile,
yeah.
Kyle shades Lily a little bit. He says she's green. He can't even identify the color of green, the hue of it.
Yeah.
That's shit talking.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's at it again.
And then
So
he
weird.
walks down with Jack, and Jack's not speaking to him, and Kyle says, "Stall." All right, so let's head to dinner. We've got white asparagus and pomegranate salad. We've also got smoked salmon orecchiette with white wine sauce and capers. This is, I don't know. It's odd to me. It's done all over the world. Fish and pasta. Fish and pasta is a common thing, but that's gross. Yeah, that's gross though.
Yeah.
But no, it seems like it would be a delicious dish, a light dish, something piccata, dancing with white wine and capers. The salad looked beautiful. And once again, I don't know if we just weren't shown something, but it reeks of a "you're not welcome here" kind of offering. It's 2 courses, and you're leaving tomorrow? Great.
Why don't you pack now?
70 pots. So Sushi can't do anything. Toomey needs to find her strength. And the issue with Toomey going on this kind of El Dorado, Lost City kind of journey is that it doesn't exist, right?
Right,
So
right.
she has no strength. So Toomey is on a wild goose chase, but we will find out what happens with that in a couple episodes. We've seen this before. The horny, older, dignified women wanting to grab that ass.
Let's see some balls.
Remember last time?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It got
Cop to feel.
yeah. It was borderline sexual harassment.
If the roles were reversed.
Right.
Hey, give us some of those female deckies
Female?
down there.
Oh, okay.
Bring them up here. I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
I'm being like a
Yeah,
New Jersey
yeah.
male
Right,
pig.
right.
Hey, get them
They call
naked
them
or something.
females.
Yeah. And again, we don't necessarily, we do a funny bit where we say if the roles were reversed, but we understand that the roles need not be reversed because Luca could punch assassinate any of these women.
Easily.
Right.
Easily.
So, everyone, why is Jack up there?
He was asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bad ask. And that has nothing to do with his aesthetics. It has everything to do with him being a wallflower and uncomfortable with the whole thing. He's throwing off the vibe. It's like if you went to a strip club and there was a librarian on stage with everybody. And you're like, my Eiffel Tower is not working. You know, it's just, it's out of place.
If what I'm wearing right now, I walked out in a strip
Yeah.
club,
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh no.
And everybody would be like, are you going to take that off? And you were like, you'd just be
No.
like, no, I'm not going to. I'm in combat boots and jeans. All right. So everyone heads down and Anne hops into Luca's bed for a little cuddle, and we move to the last day of the charter. It's drop-off day. The Sea Rats are ready to party. Max's dick is fully hard now, almost enough. We've got another morning special.
A breakfast special.
We've got another morning special from Jack.
Eggs any way you want it.
Eggs, and you tell me what you want in them.
I never heard of that special before. Seems very vague.
No, they do it at Denny's on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
No.
Is that
Yep.
right?
The chef has a special tonight. It is a house salad. What?
And you can get that any way you like.
It's not even Florentine. It's just omelets. It is revealed to us that it is the taste of the eggs mixed with oxygen that makes this woman, and a little nitrogen, I'm sure, has a role to play. A lot of gases, actually.
Of course. Yes.
But this is like, it's an M. Night Shyamalan kind of thing. I mean, it's like The Happening, but done to her taste for eggs. I don't know. It's a lie.
This is not real. This isn't.
Yeah.
This I don't know if eggs oxidize in the outdoors. I don't know if that's a thing. If it is, this isn't real. And this was wild.
Bye now.
Continue your happening. Reference. The eggs were on top of the second story of a building, and then they just jump off.
Yeah, they just
like,
jump
why
off.
are the eggs doing that to themselves? You know?
Yeah.
They never explain it in the movie.
No.
The wind at some point in the field could kill you. You know?
Yeah,
it was
well-
really dumb.
Well, the trees were upset. The trees were. They weren't having it. The trees. And Mark was like, "What's going on? Hey, why is everybody dying?"
They're like, "Hey, Mark, come out here where all the trees are. Listen to the wind,
Protect
Mark."
my family.
I'm going plant-based. All right, so
Oh my God.
I think
Lily,
we're almost done. Yeah,
Lily and Kyle are not doing well, and I honestly, I don't blame Kyle.
No. But
Yeah.
he has to restrain himself because, he's walking on eggshells. But he definitely wants her in the basement with Milton and that fucking stapler. That's an office space.
Oh yeah,
reference there.
absolutely.
He does not want her in this laundry room.
So the guests depart. Tanya heads out. Sounds exactly like Bethany Frankel, right?
She wishes, probably.
And we head to the tip meeting. Kyle and Jack are not doing well, but I think any amount of money can kind of heal that, right?
No,
Yeah.
not this low. But it's one of these goddamn short charters. 18K, 1250 euros. That banging up against the dollar ain't doing what it was doing 5 years ago,
If the Sea Rats were, had their druthers, they should just be doing day charters. They should just be banging out day charters because you get tipped better.
Yeah.
You get tipped 22 grand for 2 days and like 15 to 18 for 1 day.
I think it's the turnover of the boat.
Yeah.
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 You got to scrub those fucking bathtubs.
Yeah. The shit in the blood. Yeah. Raspberries in the blood. So, yeah.
This was real quick. So we can skip over a bunch of shit. So they get their fucking money to Sea Rats. Then they get in those vans. Kyle says in the vans, and Lily's not in this van at this point. She's in the other van.
Yeah.
He puts a wager on how wasted she's going to get tonight.
Yeah, he's a gossipy bitch.
Right.
And that was a lot of assumptions here. I think he was levying that she's a fucking drunk.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
That's
and
him.
he's not wrong. You can see it on her face.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But you're on eggshells, Kyle.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything about epidermically. I'm just making a joke that she's a sea rat who lies about, And she's from England, They're fucking drunks. So she's wearing a Formula One jacket as though she was wasted when she got dressed.
Yep.
And then we head to the restaurant. Kyle orders a double Mexican mule. Jack says, "You sure?" And these two scissors are just cutting at one another right now.
We have new Rams.
I don't understand what this talk about banter was. Kyle was like, "Your guys' banter is to this."
Okay, so Jack was starting to kind of make a case that Kyle sucks and that he liked a previous stew.
Right.
So he's kind of establishing, it's kind of how we all started this season with Kyle telling Toomey in that
Sure.
passport place that Natalia was a bitch. And so that's essentially, Chef Jack, you're better than this.
If anyone can see a sea rat trying to turn another sea rat against another sea rat, it's Kyle. Because that is his first language.
When they cut to the final scene of this episode, before they run the trailer for next week's episode, Kyle is excited. This gives him life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No,
So they're sitting there and she is drunk. Lily is drunk at this point, as she should be. But she's talking to Jack and Jack makes it clear that his friend is off the boat. And I actually would like to credit Jack. He was like, it doesn't matter why she's gone. And it's not worth it to discuss negative shit when you've just started.
Right.
And Kyle still, if that were Kyle, he would have been like, oh, girl, let's go to the bathroom and I'll tell you everything and I'll show you the text messages and all this shit. And then instead, from like 3 seats over, is just zeroing in on their conversation like fucking weird psychopath. And then is like, oh, you're banter. And you're like, why are you? And then she just makes another joke and it was fucking amazing.
There's no amount of therapy in the world, I don't think, that can fix Kyle. He's just
With that, I think we're going to have at least one more C-Rat interview with someone on this cast this season. You let us know.
Fingers crossed. I want Tomb Raider. I want to talk to Tomb Raider.
Lara, okay. You guys let us know in the comments.
Leave a 5-star review. Tell us who you want us to interview before the season's
Remember, we never take it easy on them now.
You do.
I do.
And now I have started to.
Okay. Well, do you want Lara, Toomey, or Kyle? Let us know.
I take it easy on the ones who don't remember what happened and who say, please bleep out that I'm in Richmond, Virginia, because I don't want people hunting me.
And that will be bleeped.
I take it easy on those people because they're clearly crazy. All right, that's it for us. iTunes ratings and reviews. Let us know who you want on the show. Follow Ruby at Papaya.Girl on TikTok. Join us at Patreon.com/Another Podcast Network for lots of fun stuff. I'm Dylan saying goodnight. Pat, say goodnight.
Later, dudes.
Rubes.
Bye-bye.